Don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were younger. Innocent in our ways, we were dumb, girl. When nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were younger. Innocent in our ways, we were dumb, girl. When nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. I could always count on you. I could always count on you.
What is up, everybody? How's everybody doing? It's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. It feels like a Wednesday to me. Jackson, how's your week going so far?
Slow.
It is very slow. Just like the sports in the sports world right now too. Very slow. Literally, we have nothing to talk about in the NFL. So we're gonna barely talk about the MLB, and then we have a lot to talk about in the NBA with the season closing. All right, so let's get started right into it. The Royals, 3-2 now in spring training. Both had a split today. They went 1-1. Royals beat the Dodgers 8-2, but lost to the White Sox 7-9. One of those runs in the White Sox games was by Jackson Flores with an inside the park home run. Man, the Royals' speed is already showing off. Jackson, I know we were only 5 games in, but how are you liking this Royals team so far?
I haven't got to watch it, so
From what you've seen,
I haven't got to watch it. Well, I haven't seen anything. I mean, I've seen the scores. We'll see. I'm not taking spring training as.
It's baseball. That's all I say.
It's not real baseball. It hurts to watch.
So would you rather have no spring training games and just go straight to
spring training's a necessary thing, but as an
just
entertainment
practice.
value, I mean, it's good to have them back. I'm glad baseball's back.
All right. Well, opinions change quick. All right. So
No, my opinion didn't change. I still think that spring training's boring to.
All right. Jackson says spring training is boring to watch. All right. Moving on. Nolan Arenado for the Rockies signed a $32.5 million extension per year. 8 years, I want to say $260. 7 or 8 years, one of them. That is crazy money. I don't think he deserves that. Do you think he deserves that, Jackson?
No. I mean, I don't think any more than 6 years. That's a really long time to be invested in a guy.
Yeah.
I don't like.
Nolan's 27 already. That's going till he's 35 or whenever his contract ends.
Mm-hmm.
What contract is he on right now?
He'll be 35 when it ends.
Jeez. That's way too long. If you do a 6-year or more extension, you have to be under like 25. Because then it's like those last 3 years are just bad. But I totally think I totally think he was definitely not worth that much money. To be honest,
Well, he was going to get it. It was just a matter of who was going to give
I
it to
mean,
him.
the money's going to start going up, but seeing Arenado getting that before Harper getting a bigger deal than Machado,
Well, Arenado had a way better year than Harper last year.
but who has the bigger name? That's really the thing.
It's true, but
I don't know.
Nolan.
I don't really like it, to be honest. Too much money for me. It's too much for me. But
Yeah.
Clayton Kershaw last Friday or Saturday was sent home because his arm just didn't feel right. Kershaw's 31, I want to say. Is age starting to play a factor in Kershaw's career?
I don't think so. I just think that his arm. I mean, 31's not that old. So, I don't know. I think he's fine.
All right.
Unless it's something
That we don't know. But yeah, I don't know if age is playing a factor, but I mean, it's shown when he was like 25, ESPN was showing like how fast his fastball was, and it was above like 96, and now you look at it, it's like 91. That's a big difference in what?
Well, that happens with every single pitcher. Like, you're going to get mileage on your arm, and it's going to make
I know,
you.
but like it dipping down that much.
I mean, same thing. I mean, but for him, it doesn't matter because his best pitch is his curveball.
Yeah.
So his best pitch has always been off speed. Tell you, Verlander can still wing it, and he's old.
Yeah, I will give you that. But no,
He'll go and he'll throw harder in the 8th inning than he did in the first.
Yeah, I remember reading something about that, which is weird. But no, I hope Kershaw is fine. I mean, you definitely have to take arm issue serious in spring training at least, so that this stuff doesn't happen in the regular season. But literally, that's all we got for MLB. I don't know if you can think of anything.
I mean, Harper's gonna sign.
Harper, so let's hope Harper signs.
He will.
It's just a matter of when will Harper
There's
sign.
no way. I heard a report though that Craig Kimbrell's considering just sitting out the entire season if he doesn't get the deal he wants.
Yeah, I don't know if that's smart.
I doubt it. These guys will cave.
Just like
They wanna
Moustakis
play.
did last year, but he lost like $15 million.
He's an idiot for that.
He's not an idiot. His agent's an idiot.
I mean, we offered him the qualifying offer. He said no. We end up giving him $6 million in the end when we would have given him $17 million in November. So Boraz and Moose were kind of dumb.
All right. So let's move on to the NBA topic. I'm going to give you 3 games that already happened, that happened last week. You got Boston and Milwaukee. Milwaukee won by 1. Sacramento and Golden State. Golden State won by 2. Houston and LA. And LA, the Lakers. LA won by 11. Of those 3 games, which one is most likely to be a playoff scenario? I can tell you it. I can tell you the answer. What?
I think two of them will end up being a playoff series.
One of them, the one that I know
the one
for
I think
sure.
would be most likely is Bucks Celtics.
Really?
And I know you're gonna say Kings Warriors.
Yeah, because the Kings are
It's the 8 seed.
Yeah,
But
and that's all.
If you're at the
What'd you say? You were breaking out there.
Celtics, either of those teams will get eliminated in the first round. I don't believe you. So
I don't know. I don't see the Lakers making the playoffs though.
I don't either. But there's still a chance the Kings could get the 7 too, which would
be
basically
interesting.
would mean no way. Then there's also a chance they don't get in. Period. So
yeah,
we'll
which is
just have
probably
to
most
watch.
likely to happen. What's up, Great Dane and Birdie? Kings and Warriors. Birdie said hi. Sorry, a little late, Birdie. It's all good. If you stop by, bro, that's all that matters. Appreciate
I can tell you which one of those won't be a playoff series.
Houston and the Lakers.
No chance.
There's no way Houston either gets that good or falls that much, or LA even makes the playoffs.
He's not making the playoffs. I'm convinced they're done.
But when I said the score, score, all these games were close. Which team has the best chance for an upset? And I will not say the Kings, even though they do have the best chance for an upset.
Best chance at an upset?
Yeah. Like,
I mean, I think you'd have to say the Lakers. Like, if you were going to pick a team out of those. Because, I mean, they have LeBron
I did
James.
see this one stat. The Lakers are 4-9 since Lonzo left. Is the problem Lonzo or LeBron? I think it's Lonzo with this great defense.
Okay, it's partially him because Rondo's not a very good defender. And it's kind of hard. LeBron either doesn't really even try half the time. But Lonzo brought an intensity and he got everyone involved. And I mean, it's just right now the Lakers in a really, really bad spot. I don't know what's the problem. I can tell you this though, they will blame everybody before they blame LeBron. So
Except Stephen A. Smith when he said the problem is LeBron.
Well, I said the Lakers would, not the media. I think LeBron's a little at fault. I think people are going a little crazy saying he's the entire problem. That there's problems outside of that. The bench is a little concerning. The Josh Hart having a minus 15 in 6 minutes, that's a little concerning.
I don't know. When Lonzo starts playing, that's when they needed to start getting everything right. But they did say Lonzo's 6 weeks out is going to be extended a little bit longer, which is making it.
That's not good.
Brody said, I saw this thing on SportsCenter on Insta, and that said that the Lakers have a better chance to get a top 3 pick than to make the playoffs. 6-3.
They do. They do.
Oh my God. Well,
I'll tell you this.
If the Lakers get a top 3 pick, if the Lakers don't make the playoffs, they have like a 100% chance to get a top 3 pick because it's the NBA.
Yeah. They will rig that to the max to make sure that they get that.
Zion to the Lakers is gold for the NBA.
Yeah.
Oh, bro,
I don't
sorry
know.
for the grammar. It's all good. I suck at typing.
It's going to be interesting. The Lakers are, even if they somehow do squeeze in the playoffs this year, they're not going to be able to do anything.
All I'm saying is, if they get the 8th seed, that would be a very good 1 versus 8 seed with the Lakers and Warriors. That would actually be pretty interesting.
And I think what hurts is that I think when the Lakers play to their potential, they could beat the Warriors once or twice, but which not a lot of teams can say. But
sorry, go on.
I mean, it's just the truth. Not a lot of teams can say that they could beat Golden State. But I really do feel like when the Lakers play their best basketball, they are a tough team to beat, and that I look around in the West, and there's no team other than Golden State that I think can easily beat the Lakers in a 7-game series if LeBron's playing ball.
Okay, everyone has to be healthy. Like, let's go back to Christmas night. Everyone was healthy on that team. Everyone was playing to their top max. And something I want to point out that I saw today, Great Dane also said Lonzo has got injured before every trade deadline. Hashtag BB Smart. BBB Smart. I don't know if that's smart, but I mean,
they won't have to wait till the trade deadline this time. They'll deal them in July.
You think so? You think Lonzo's gone? Oh wait, for Anthony Davis, duh.
I don't think they get AD.
What?
Not this offseason.
Really? You think he's gonna sign as a free agent?
Mm-hmm. I think he's going to Boston.
We did do that trade. If you guys want to go watch it, we did send Jason Tatum.
Boston literally just said that they would give up anyone.
We did do this trade. It was like Jason Tatum and Marquise Morris, I want to say. And
but if I'm the Celtics, I don't give up Tatum.
Whoever gets Tatum, you're getting a really good player with a lot of potential.
Yeah, he has the potential to be one of the best scorers for the next 15 years. Like, you're really
this is his second year, and he's already in the starting lineup.
On a good team.
Gordon Hayward should be starting. You say Gordon Hayward, and then he's on the bench.
I mean, Gordon Hayward's hasn't really been that great.
He hasn't been that great, but I mean, for the money that he signed with, he should be great.
Yeah.
What's up, Chief Daily News? How you doing, bro?
It just makes more sense to start Tatum at this point.
And the thing is, with the Celtics, if they do trade Tatum, which I hope they don't, they have Hayward to lie back on.
Yeah, for 2 years on a terrible contract.
Okay, but the contract's already happened, so it's like.
I'm just saying, it's not like that's a good thing.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We had Toronto versus the Spurs. Toronto edged out the Spurs by 120 to 117. Now that Kawhi and DeMar have both returned home and were celebrated, can both of these players move on and focus on the remainder of the season?
I think they're already. I don't.
I definitely think Kawhi's already went past that.
Kawhi's got that personality that he does not.
Yeah, but DeMar, I felt like that last game. I felt like that he was ready. He was preparing for that.
I mean, sure, yeah, and I think it was a nice moment for DeMar. But they're NBA players, man. They got to be focused. They've dealt with bigger distractions than that.
Yeah. Which players had the better season for themselves? You think, Jackson?
Oh, Kawhi Leonard easily, and that's not a knock on DeMar DeRozan, but Kawhi Leonard's one of the best players in the NBA.
I totally agree. The one thing I would say is DeMar DeRozan is making this really bad Spurs team somehow still in the playoffs.
And LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah. But, I mean, like, with Kawhi, that team's good. But, I mean, when you put DeMar on there and it's his first year, I mean, that's kind of impressive to keep the team there.
Kawhi, if he stays healthy, they'd probably win the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago.
Really? You think so?
They were up 23 in Game 1 at Golden State when Kawhi got hurt.
It's Golden State. It's Golden State.
They were up 23.
That's one game. That's
State.
one game. That's all I'm saying.
But it was in Golden State.
The Cavs were up by like 5 were up. However, and then J.R. Smith decided to smoke some before the final free throw.
Actually, they were tied.
Klay Thompson to the Kings, Great Dane says, no.
Probably not.
They don't need them. No.
I'd go ahead and say the only Warrior that I think will leave is DeMarcus Cousins.
I think Klay leaves.
I don't. I think they're going to give him everything.
You think they're going to give him a max?
Absolutely.
They're going to have 2 maxes on their team, and then they're going to re-sign KD.
They're going to try. KD's an interesting. They may have to get rid of Draymond.
Which
also,
I could easily see them do.
If they want to keep KD, they might have to dump Draymond, which wouldn't be a problem if I was.
Let us know in the comments, guys, who you think the Warriors will Who do you think the Warriors will lose this offseason? KD, Draymond, Klay, Boogie.
Yeah. Tell you the guy on that team that's so unheard about these days, but is so important is Andre Iguodala. That dude.
I mean, he's
to have
the
that dude
finals,
as your sixth
finals
man,
MVP.
To have that dude as your sixth man, you can't name another team he wouldn't. Like, that's insane. He's so good. Like, he's honestly amazing.
Hey, all I'm saying is Steph Curry still hasn't won a Finals MVP, so can't say he's the greatest.
Yeah. Sports Talk Barry.
Greg Popovich sorry, guys. Greg Popovich shows his frustration with several questions after the Spurs loss to the Knicks and talks about San Antonio's defense. What has been the cause in the decline for the Spurs defense that has led to an unimpressive yet they still remain in the playoffs? And the answer to that is DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge.
They're just not that good.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know how they're still in the playoffs, but they still are. So I mean, that's why you have to give an answer.
Coaching.
Yeah,
it's coaching, man.
Totally
coaching.
You put Luke Walton on that team, they're like the 10th.
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
Do you think Luke's gone after this year because they cannot make the playoffs?
I don't know if it's fair to do that, and I think honestly they do it regardless if they make it or not.
Really, but you think this is his last year?
The LeBron team in Cleveland that won the finals, they fired David Blatt when they were first in the East halfway through the season. It doesn't really matter when you have LeBron on your team. If you're not the best, then you're a failure. It's not the same as being a coach for any other player or any other team. When you coach Los Angeles Lakers and you coach LeBron James, you're expected to win a championship every.
All right. Will this be Pop's last year in the NBA? And the answer to that is no. This dude's coaching till he dies.
No, I think he's got a lot of years left. Actually, as weird as that sounds, I think he's got another probably 5 to 10.
I think. You think 10?
I said 5 to 10.
I don't think 5 to 10. I was joking. I say probably maybe one more, maybe two. I was having a little discussion earlier with Dirk and Dwayne getting all this retirement, bon voyages, and what's his name? Why am I blanking right now? Doc Rivers calling a timeout and telling everyone to start cheering for Dirk.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen when LeBron announces retirement the year before? And what do you think that's going to look like?
I don't know if he does.
You think
he might. It would be honestly like so. I don't even know. Like, I don't want to think about that right now, but it's gonna be crazy. His final.
Jackson doesn't want to think about those sad days.
Those aren't gonna be fun.
When it's his last dance, he's gonna score 100.
Because compared to LeBron, Dirk, and Dwayne Wade are pebbles. Like, they don't mean as much in NBA history. This dude means so much. Whether you think he's the greatest or not, he means so much to NBA history.
He changed the NBA.
Yeah, he's undoubtedly one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He's the only player of all time to be top 10 in assists and points. So,
do you think LeBron will play in the NBA with his son coming from Jake Hageman? Sorry if I mispronounced that name. If he does, the dude's like 40, I think.
If he does, it won't be an efficient.
I mean, Vince Carter's what? It's like 43 right now?
Who?
Vince Carter.
Oh, yeah, but Vince Carter's not efficient.
I mean, he's doing it at 43. LeBron can easily do it at 43, but will he?
Yeah, but nobody looks at Vince Carter as a guy that can win you a championship. Honestly, what in the world is he doing?
Who?
Why would you sign with the Hawks? Vince Carter. Like, if you're going to still play, just sign with the Warriors and get a cheap ring.
Pull a DeMarcus Cousins. All right, let's go back to the Laker talk. No Davis, no problem. Lakers beat the Pelicans by 13. We were kind of talking about this. Isn't there a new rule that high schoolers don't have to go to college? That's in the talks. It won't happen probably for a while. But we talked about that on our last podcast if you want to go check that out. Will the Lakers miss the playoffs? We've talked on it a lot, but let's get your final opinion. Lakers in or out, Jackson?
My brain tells me they're not going to make it, but
go with your heart. Go with your gut.
I do think they somehow get him, but I think they somehow get him.
I see. There's no way they are getting in. There's no way.
I don't think they're that good. I don't think they're good enough to be there, but I just think they're going to get in.
Since LeBron's returned to the Lakers, they still find ways to lose. What has been the cause for these losses? Who deserves the most blame?
Well, they all deserve blame, but I'd say the most blame. I'd say blame goes on one guy.
What one guy?
I think those guys aren't handling themselves professionally, because when LeBron calls you out and says, or whenever, you've heard, oh, you're going to get traded for Anthony Davis, you should take that as motivation, not something like, oh, well, he quit on me. That's not how I think of it. I think of it as, you know what? You didn't get traded. You can't quit on us. You're still here. You got to play. But at the same time, you wanted us out of here. You didn't even want us here. You don't believe in us. So, why would we play hard for you? Which I understand. It makes sense. It's just a human thing to think that way. So I think there's blame both ways there, but I think the most blame has to be Luke Walton, because you have to control this situation as a head coach. That's your job, and I don't think he's doing a good job at it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a lot of people to blame for this. It's like Jackson said, it's not one person. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, no, there's multiple. Okay. It's everyone.
Yeah, it truly is. I mean, you can't blame it on Luke. I mean, you can say partial if it's on Luke. You can say partial if it's on Lonzo for not being here. But I mean, he can't do anything about that. He's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't see the Lakers making the playoffs. But going to talk about my Kings playing the Thunder. Kings won by 3. Should we stop sleeping on the Kings? Let me tell you, I've been wide awake for these Kings since the beginning of the season. But Jackson, are you going to stop sleeping on the Kings eventually?
I'm not sleeping on them. I'm just saying they make the playoffs. They're not going to do anything, so it doesn't matter. But I mean, they've got a nice young. I actually don't have them make. I still think they're going to finish as the 9 seed.
God dang it! That was my next question, pretty much.
It's notable that they beat the Thunder on a back-to-back for the Thunder. That the Thunder had to play 2 overtimes the night before. I think that did have a factor. Paul George played terrible. But credit to the Kings for showing up and playing, because a year ago that team wouldn't have been able to capitalize off of somebody if they had played 5 weeks in a row. So
listen here. If this Kings team doesn't make the playoffs this year, they get another lottery pick. And this team will be coming back better than ever. It is a scary team. Like next year, I think they're a 3 or 4 seed.
We'll see. I mean, it really depends on what happens. We would have coming into the year thought that the Lakers would be there, and they're not.
And they were, but then Lonzo and LeBron got hurt.
See, the worst thing to happen to the Lakers was LeBron getting hurt. Not only because they started losing, but it exposed that the young talent that everyone else kind of thought of highly was trash. It wasn't good enough to win on their own. And that made their trade value dip. And that just made everything go straight to the bottom. Like, it was a terrible thing for everybody.
So let me ask you about this. Who's more likely to make the playoffs, the Kings or Lakers?
If I'm going mathematical and I'm going off of my head, I would definitely say the Kings, but I'm not. I'm going off of my gut feeling. I feel like this league is going to make sure that LeBron makes the playoffs. I can't imagine them not letting LeBron in the post. I think the Lakers are going to get in over the Kings.
You think the Lakers are going to get in over the Kings?
Which I don't think is a bad thing for the Kings. I think the Kings would benefit more off of a lottery pick than they would a first-round exit.
I totally agree with that, but I think the Kings make it.
Like, it's possible. But
I don't want them. I mean, I want them to make it, but at the same time, it's like now they don't get a lottery pick. You get that. You get that pick. You don't get the chance of maybe getting the moving up one pick.
State?
Huh?
What if they upset Golden State?
Well, then I'll be here telling I told y'all.
The league would never ever allow that to happen. I'm telling you that.
All I'm saying is I've been writing the Kings this whole season, so they started doing really good. I am not being called a bandwagon.
I'm rooting for the Bucks.
Jackson's rooting for the Bucks. I'm rooting for the Kings.
I'm
rooting for someone that's not even in the playoffs, and he's rooting for the best team in the NBA, best record. Wow.
Well, it goes like this. Here's the thing. My favorite team's the Heat. They're complete trash, and there's no fun in rooting for complete trash. So then you go on to your next favorite team, and it's the Bucks, and they're really, really good. And then of course I root for my favorite player, LeBron James. It's not looking good right now, but we'll see. We'll see.
Little update here: the Celtics are down 21 to the Raptors at half. This Celtics team is getting a little ugly, if I do say so. Yeah, let us know in the comments, guys, who your favorite NBA team is, by the way. But this Celtics team...
Nobody in a 7-game series in the East is beating the Celtics. Sorry.
You just said nobody's beating the Celtics in the East?
Nobody can beat them in a 7-game series. I'm promising you that.
What?
I'm telling you that. Listen. Who? Philly's lost 17 of the last 18 of them. Philly's a turnover machine. Not happening.
The Bucks?
The Raptors, when they make the playoffs, I understand it's a new era with Leonard.
Did the Bucks beat them?
Bucks beat them by a point, which was in Milwaukee, and that game could have gone.
If they're the 1 seed, then they get the home field advantage.
Home court, yeah, I get it.
Home court, sorry.
But they've got the best coach, which means the best adjustments, best game plan. Plus, you have. I'm gonna go ahead and say they have the best roster in the East. I know it doesn't look like that. But my God, I mean, that is a stacked roster of you got Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Morris, Al Smart, Terry Rozier, Jason Tatum. Like, oh my God. When does the depth stop? Plus, you have playoff experience on that team.
You do have
Like,
playoff. So do the Bucks now,
The-
with them making the playoffs last year.
The Bucks, Giannis has never won a playoff series.
All right.
Like,
Hey,
it's
hey.
tough to really.
Let's go back to the comment section. We're getting a lot of questions, which we do appreciate. Paul George for MVP? No.
No, Giannis.
I totally agree with Giannis.
I listen.
What?
I love
Okay.
Harden. I think he's done a great job. And he won MVP, and he honestly he could win MVP, and I wouldn't be that upset. But Giannis is doing something crazy this year. Giannis reminds me of a young LeBron, to be honest with you. He really does. He
Something
is
I want to
amazing.
say: when I judge an MVP, if you take that player away, is that team still good or are they bad?
Well, I think you.
You take
I
Giannis
think you
away,
could say-
they're not the 1 seed.
Well, I think you can say that for all three of these guys. Giannis,
Paul George,
and
I don't know
Harden.
about that.
Are you kidding me? You
They
don't.
still
You think
have
the Thunder would be
Westbrook.
where they're at without Paul George?
Okay, that was a little dumb, but I don't know. I think if you take Paul
Westbrook
George away,
is a 65%
if you take Paul George
shooter.
away, he has the least amount of weight out of those 3 dudes.
Okay,
If that makes sense.
I will say that, but I'd say the most amount of weight is definitely Harden. It's a really tough discussion. But my God,
Hey,
that
the
team
Rockets
without
are the Warriors' kryptonite. That's all I'm saying. In the regular season.
yeah, if they're healthy, which
In
they
the
won't
regular-
be. So
Yeah.
rip.
We're already predicting that the Rockets lose to the Warriors because of injuries. But no, let's go back to the
Bound to
Thunder.
happen.
Westbrook is shooting 30 shots per game. Is Westbrook's continued increase in shot volume going to lead to more losses for the Thunder? To be honest, that is, I very much think so.
Yeah, I mean, when he takes less than 20 shots, they're 20-4. It's the recipe to win.
It's in
He
the
just needs to stop.
statistics.
Just stop shooting the damn ball. It's like you have a guy on your team that's having a historical season. You're having your worst shooting season by far, and you can't realize it. You really can't. Now, he had a nice game versus the Kings. Shot 50% from the field, 41% from three. It's not bad. But, my God, you don't need to be the MVP Russell Westbrook anymore. That type of ball doesn't win. You need to share the ball, man. You need to get other guys
Because
involved.
you have Paul
I don't
George
want-
on your team now.
I don't want you shooting a big-time three. I want that to be Paul George. Like, awesome. You're averaging another triple-double. Is that
What are the
impressive?
odds-
Absolutely.
Sorry. What Great Dane asked, what are the odds KD goes to the Thunder? The Thunder would tell him no.
I don't know if they would say no. I think they'd say yes.
Nah, I
Can
don't
they
know.
afford it? No. But,
That's another topic.
yeah, that is another topic.
But yeah, Westbrook, him shooting the ball too much is killing the Thunder. And I think that's what's going to hurt them in the playoffs when it comes to those key points.
He
holds
always shoots
the
too
ball
much.
for so long, too.
He thinks he's a good. I don't know, man. It's all
Once you get
always-
that
it's a-
MVP title, you think you're one of the best.
I've never dealt or watched so bad at the same time.
Yeah.
It really, he's an undescribable player. Like there's points where you're like, oh my God, he averaged a triple double. That was cool when it first happened. Now we look at that and we're like, wow, he averaged a triple double. How many playoff series he got?
Just
To
think
me,
if,
it's
just think if the Thunder had KD and Harden still and Paul George. That would be the Warriors right now.
Yeah, if you didn't, they kept the worst MVP. They had 3 and kept the worst.
Yeah, they had 3 MVPs
Think
on
about
their
the
team.
efficient players that left. Serge Ibaka's still a really
Yeah.
Like-
All right. Speaking of one of the MVPs that left, Harden on the Rockets played Golden State last week. The Rockets actually won by 6, but Harden didn't even play. What were their keys to victory? And I can tell you one right
Well,
now.
Chris
What?
Paul getting 10 assists. When he gets 10 assists, the Rockets are 10-0. That's the big one. When he
That
gets
is huge. Also,
But
Draymond
I'm just telling
Green.
you, PJ Tucker, he is great. Listen, I don't care if you're the best player on earth, but if you can put in as much effort as PJ Tucker can, I want you on my team because that man plays so hard all the time, always goes at it, never quits. He is so physical. He made KD fall down. Like it was awesome to watch. And I tell you what, when that Rockets team is fully healthy, they are a very, very tough squad to beat. And even though they didn't have Harden, they were making crazy buzzer beater shots that, hey, I'll admit, they probably can't hit 4 times out, right? And that's what you need to beat them in a series. But man, I mean, they had them in a position last year that had Golden State uncomfortable. And if they're healthy again, they're going to have them in another tough position if they meet up.
All right. I got your direction, but Jackson, answer this question. Should Harden take less of a role in order to let CP3 shine? I'll be right back.
Right. I think he should. And not bashing him. He had to do what he had to do. There was nobody healthy on the team. Gordon was out. Paul was out. Capella was out. You got to kind of be the guy at some point. And remember, they were 14th in the West whenever this 30-point streak started. They moved all the way up to the 5th seed by the time it ended last night to the Hawks. I don't view Harden as a selfish player. I think he's a guy that wants to win, and he realizes that that's the most important thing in basketball. He loves these stats, but he realizes just as much as everyone that ISO ball doesn't win, and you just have to you can't ISO ball your way through an entire postseason. You got to get guys involved. You got to get guys to play well with you, because if they don't respect anyone else on the team, what are you supposed to do? To me, like, if you're the only guy they fear, it's kind of like LeBron last year on the Cavs. Eventually, they're going to force someone else to hit a shot, and when they can't, so I think Harden realizes he needs to get his guys involved. I think Harden will do it. I don't think he's selfish. I think he will adjust like he needs to. And, I think for them to win, he definitely has to have the ball less and handle it less, because you look at the great teams, they pass the ball very well. They don't have one guy do everything.
All right. So we're going to stop this right now just for a little college basketball little break. Duke has been upsetted by Virginia Tech 77-72. It's the third time Duke has lost on February 26th to Virginia Tech in the last 11 years. Coincidence? I think so. Going on to Big Ten, Iowa's head coach calls a ref a cheater. Quote unquote, the Iowa coach said this: "You cheating mother effer, you're an effing disgrace." After he lost.
Damn.
He said that straight to the referee. Expect a little.
You get kicked out?
That was after they lost.
Oh.
But I definitely don't see him coaching the next game. I definitely see a suspension.
You cheating MFer. That's funny.
But going back, that's your little college basketball break, sponsored by no one, because we don't have any sponsors. But hey, if you want to sponsor us, let us know. Anyway, how different did the Rockets look without Harden? And to be honest, the Rockets looked pretty much the same. They were shooting threes and doing good. I mean, Harden's just another shooter to add on to.
No, they'll definitely need him in the postseason.
They don't need him, but I'm saying this team looked fine.
Yeah, no, they played really.
Okay, where were the Warriors and were the Warriors engaged in this game? Like, were they actually trying to play? You've kind of touched on this on all of these podcasts that we've done, saying the Warriors don't try until the playoffs. Do you agree with this game?
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you've said that.
No, I totally agree. Listen, do I think that they did? They definitely tried, and they definitely wanted to win that game pretty badly, because they had already lost 2 times previously to the Rockets that season. Now with Harden being out, if they lost that game, it would look a little silly. It looked a little ridiculous, and they lost it. But is that the playoff Golden State that's going to give it everything that they've got and just absolutely go insane? No, I still don't think that was their 100% effort. I thought that they played really hard. I'd say you're at about the 90s range there. But when they play teams like the Hawks or the Wizards or teams like that, they're like in the 60% range. They don't really care, I don't believe. and you can't blame them. I mean, those games do not matter to them, and they don't have to try to win those really. Uh, but I thought that they were giving it a pretty good effort. Obviously, they know Houston will probably meet them down the road again in the postseason. I hope we get that series because it was really fun last year.
That was a really fun series.
So yeah, I think they were definitely. I think they geared it up a notch, but I don't think they were in full force. And I think it's too much of a fatigue on the team to play for in full force for like what 8 months. That's how long the NBA season is. I think that's way too much on a team. I don't think any team plays for months. There's no team that does that. And Golden State, I think, just they're blessed they don't have to because they're so good, and they just wait and they save it.
All right. So you kind of talked about this player already. Is Iguodala the better fit in crunch time games over Boogie?
I think Iguodala can control himself better, which can't be given technicals in the final minutes of a close game.
Yeah, speaking
he's
of
been there, done that. But the difference is, you have to play really small if you put Iguodala in over Boogie,
which is huge.
Which you don't want to do versus the Rockets because Capella is going to grab everything. I mean, yes and no. If you're ahead, I would probably put Iguodala in. If you're behind, I'd probably keep Cousins in. I don't know. To me, Iguodala is a smarter player, a veteran player that's been there, done that. Boogie hasn't. I don't know.
All right, Great Dane asks, who do you think will be the top 3 players in the NBA draft? 2 things. One, I can't wait to cover the draft when the NFL draft comes up. That's gonna be so much fun to talk about. The NBA draft comes up. That's gonna be so much fun to talk about. But who do I think the top 3 players will be? I could easily tell you that right now. Zion will go number 1. Jamal Moran, or however you pronounce the dude's name from Murray State, will go 2. And RJ Barrett will go number 3. And if someone disagrees with me with that,
I disagree.
God dang it, Jackson. Do you agree with those players?
No.
All right, then make your case.
Hold on 1 second. But I am going to say this. Zion will go number 1. I think we are both in agreement.
Unless he gets hurt again.
I think number 2 is RJ Barrett.
It's not Jamal Moran or whatever, however you pronounce his name.
And number 3, I think, is Marcus Howard. Take that how you want.
We'll see. We can talk about that later.
I definitely think he's a better player, and you also have to Reddish because he'll definitely be a top 5, top 10.
Yeah, top 5 pick for sure.
You can see a team going for him.
This dude team,
there's no way though that Zion's not one of the first 3.
Yeah, if he gets hurt again, he'll be a top 3 pick. But if he stays healthy the rest of the time, he's number 1.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Let's talk about this. Just going into NBA news. Sorry guys, this is heavily NBA because literally nothing's going on. DeMarcus Cousins, he got a technical for throwing Jeremy Lamb's shoe off the court in the Warriors game. And let me try to pull this up. DeMarcus
Cousins. The NBA didn't. They typically fine people for techs, but they didn't fine them for that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they took it away, to be honest. But
because it was a stupid tech.
It was. Let me try to find it. Gosh dang it. There's a good quote. Let's see if I can get it pretty soon. Sports Center. No. Do you think the technical should have happened, Jackson?
No.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
He's just throwing a shoe off the court. There wouldn't be a injury or someone would step on it. Literally, if you've ever played basketball at a gym, well, I shouldn't say ever, but if you played regularly, that's happened, and you've done the same thing, or you've seen people do the same exact thing. It's not to be rude. It's just because you have to.
Yeah. I just need someone to give me the quote here. or not. Anyway, what Bogey says pretty much, he says, "What do you want me to do? Just act like I don't see the shoe and roll my ankle, tear my ACL, Achilles?" He said for sure. I know, and he's true. I mean, what do you want him to do? Just leave it there and have the chance of him rolling his ankle?
Yeah, I don't blame him for being upset about getting.
And I think that's why the NBA took that flagrant away, because those can add up and you can get suspended. So we don't want to see that happen. But moving on, who's the most dangerous team in the West to compete with the Warriors? And I think we can both agree the Rockets.
The Rockets.
All right. NBA fines Rockets James Harden $25,000 for criticizing officials following loss to the Lakers. He said that he believes Scott Foster shouldn't officiate the team. Does he have a point in his comments, or is he just getting frustrated because he doesn't get the amount of calls? We kind of talked about this on the previous show, so let's keep it short.
Yeah, I just think that his comments were fine and they weren't that out of character. I thought that they were fine, but the league has to protect their guys, so of course they're gonna fine him.
Yeah. I totally agree, and I think that's going to wrap up this pretty much NBA favorited podcast. KC3 Takes Ep.23. Go follow JacksonRoyals.Kingdom. Go follow me, Finex Graphics. Go follow Sam Cheese Chaos. Go follow our Instagram at KC3 Takes. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the bell notification so you guys know when we go live, when we post exclusive interviews. Comment down below who you guys want us to have on this podcast. We've really been enjoying having this podcast, guys. We just want to keep continuing. We want to say thank you again for everyone that's subscribing. We're almost at 150 subs. We're literally like one away. So thank you to everyone. If we can hit 200 by the end of March, that would just be crazy. You guys are awesome. Other than that, Jackson, do you have anything to say?
Nope.
All right. See you guys Saturday. Peace.